part when that water scene right there, it was kind of pretty scary instead, you know? How you hold your breath, survive big fishes with sharks. Well, exactly like that, but actually, I got used to it. Back then, I'd never had a PlayStation in my life before, back in the 90s instead. Well, I besides like this, when everyone has to have a system game instead, like called PlayStation. I heard PlayStation before, but actually I never heard of Nintendo 64 before, but my parents couldn't include that instead. Well, I did beg for my parents to give me a PlayStation 1 instead, but they already did. Well, actually, the favorite game I got is Tomb Raider 2 instead. And also, like the one from the other game is called Resident Evil 2 instead. I did play that game before. It's one of my favorite games ever. Well, actually, the ending never ends there instead. Well, when you reach to the master right here, this is what he does. Well, when he got the dragon's knife right there, he stabs himself right into the heart. She's investigating and she goes down there. To the master, he transformed himself into a dragon.
Destroy him.
Much powerful than we thought, but actually you have to defeat him to when you're on fire.
When he's defeated,
get the knife at his heart instead. When you do that, go far away from the cave instead, and the ending was kind of pretty cool. Well, actually, like the Great Wall of China was destroyed, but actually only the tower's been destroyed. And my God, oh no, so well, there's also a catchphrase here too.
When the story ends.
When she escapes instead. Well, actually, the fun has never been over yet. Well, actually, this starts like a movie, how they invade her house instead. Well, actually, she gets her fireplace done. Her job is done instead, and she got the dragon's knife instead. She's keeping it as a souvenir. Once they're in, she gets her guns reloaded. Well, I'll show you how to play this, but I don't want to tell you anything about it.
Realize what it was the key for.
Some weapons instead you can collect or you pick up.
When you kill everyone.
So, just kill these rest of the house invaders instead. Sometimes there's a problem here. You can't even see shit around the darkness instead. Isn't it kind of obvious? Like you need some light proof there. Once you finish the ending, she takes a hot, nice bath. And one thing...
Don't you think you've seen enough?
And that includes the end of the story of Tomb Raider 2 already. Well, let's begin about the movies already, from Tomb Raiders already. Well, actually... When the second one was over, they had released a third game called Tomb Raider 3 instead of the Adventures of Lara Croft. Well, actually, this is just like another mix, like the one from part 1 instead, including the part 3 has the dinosaurs in here too, along with T-Rex and the rest of the pterodactyls instead. Wait a minute, there are no pterodactyls here. There are also raptors too. Silly me. Well, besides, I've seen this game before. They don't have pterodactyls, they have raptors in here too, and T-Rex too here. Well, you ever played the classic Tomb Raider already? You know, the thing you get, they made a fourth one called the Tomb Raider, The Last Recovering. It's about like temples and stuff like that. Well, this is just a full game of she's making a discovery near Egypt instead. You know where it is? Well, actually, it's from Africa instead. Well, she discovers mummies, temple tombs, and including like skeletons and more. You know, including from the beginning when she was a teenager, when she's like traveling to places with his uncle instead. Well, actually, I had never seen Lara Croft when she was a little kid, you know. Well, let's besides, when that was over, they made another Tomb Raider called Tomb Raider of 5 instead, you know. I just don't get it. They just make more Tomb Raiders instead. Make more money, they make more parts instead, you know, like part 1, 2, and 3. Well, the story continues instead. Well, actually, the last one she did is she died in this one, the 5th Tomb Raider instead, the game. Alrighty. Well, actually, this story, it takes too long already, but I'm skipping to the short amounts already. Well, actually, she was resurrected back to the Tomb Raider 6 instead on PlayStation 2. Well, actually, it was called the Angel of Darkness. Well, you should have loved that instead. I did play the Angel of Darkness instead. Well, it was kind of exciting. The graphics were awesome and everything. Back in the old days instead. And also, like, when Hollywood was getting to a step, they just realized they need like something else from a game making over a movie instead. Well, actually, when they make more games like these, they make it as a movie. Remember the movie Hitman, or you remember from Street Fighter the movie, or Mortal Kombat? Well, you decide. Well, actually, turning a movie into a game is not a big deal instead. Well, actually, we did a review about this called Tomb Raider the movie, about the adventures of Lara Croft. Well, the actor starts as Angelina Jolie, whatever, but I'm saying it right.